And I went there and they told me that I was pregnant. And I thought the rape was bad. But when I got that experience, at that point, I didn't even know what to do. I just felt like the only way was just to die. And then he kept trying to apologize. He would call. I wasn't picking the call. One of the days, he was able to get through to me because he called the landline, the office line, and I was not able. They had to pass the call across to me, and I busted out in tears, because at this point I found out I was pregnant, and he said I should come to his office, and we'll talk about it. I got to his office. He apologized. I got to his office, and as we continued talking, he was like, I kept saying my parents are going to kill me. I grew up being one of those children that my parents people would call their children and say, be like so person. My dad, I remember one of the words the Lord, my dad told me. He said, a reputation is like taking salt and mixing it with sand and smearing it together. After you have done that, it's impossible to put it together. So I always wanted to be careful about what I do, how I conduct myself. So at this particular point in my life, I was faced with such an act. And then I kept saying my parents are going to kill me. And then when he noticed I was crying intensely, he now said, well, there's a way forward. I was so desperate to hear what he would say. And he said he had a friend that would help me take out the child. And I looked at it. He told me something. He said, nobody will know it to be our little secret, just me and you. So when I thought about it, that would have actually been the easier way out. I agreed. And on my way to the hospital that day, I remember the words that I used to say when I was growing up. I'll call my name, I'll say, Iverian, the day you ever try having an abortion is the day you would die. I'll repeat it. And I remember that day when I was saying those words, I said, God, this is not my fault. I didn't plan this. I'm sorry, but I can't. I just have to do it. And I went ahead to the hospital. On the bed, while I was lying down for the procedure, in seconds that followed, I died. The only thing I saw myself lying down on the bed. I saw myself standing, two of me. Standing. I understood myself. And I saw myself also lying down. And I was like, how can there be two of me? At least to a certain extent, I've been in this world for a while. I've never seen that kind of thing. Two of me in one place. While I was still trying to understand, I now started remembering. I started saying, oh God, please, I hope, thank God. I remember the prayer I prayed before I went through to the procedure. I said, thank God, at least I prayed before, I did this thing. I asked